Okay, here's a little bit of an oddity we're going to be shooting today. It's an oddity mostly because it's not manufactured anymore. This is a Heckler & Koch P7. This was designed by them to be a police and military pistol, and it was adopted by a lot of police forces in Germany. In fact, this particular pistol was a police pistol that was used, and then it was imported by one of the big import houses. These used to be carried by CDNN for, I don't know, $700–800. Originally, when these were being manufactured, they were well above my price range. So I bought one of these used imports some time ago. It's a fairly small capacity single stack magazine, only holds 8 rounds. It's in 9mm. It's not my usual caliber that I like to carry, but I like it because it represents a firearms design that's sort of unique, and as far as I know, nobody uses this design anymore. And it was called a gas retarded blowback. Most pistols of 9mm caliber or greater have to have some way of locking the barrel to the breech during firing while the pressure is high, and then they unlock after the pressure is lowered enough. And most Browning styles actually mechanically unlock the barrel during the recoil cycle. This particular pistol uses the gas from the cartridge, which is bled off, to retard that. There we go. In this particular pistol, you have, don't know if you can see it in this light, but underneath the barrel there is a cylinder, and the cylinder is connected to a hole, a little tapping just in front of the chamber. So as soon as the bullet exits the cartridge and passes that little gas port, gas bleeds off into that cylinder underneath the barrel. And attached to the front of the slide is a piston, and this piston fits into that cylinder. So while the pressure's still high, the bullet's still in the barrel, and gas is pushing on the piston inside the cylinder, it will not let the slide come to the rear. And of course, after the bullet exits, the gas pressure is low enough, then there's nothing else pushing on this piston, and it can go ahead and go to the rear. It's kind of a neat design. It's a very reliable design. The disadvantages would be that it gets rather hot when you're shooting it, because naturally you've got hot gases being bled into a cylinder that's just above the trigger mechanism, and this is an all steel pistol. So when you fire multiple strings of shots, multiple magazine fulls at a time, this area can get kind of hot. The HKP7 M8 was an American version that they made. It had a slightly larger trigger guard to allow it to encompass a plastic heat shield right in this area, which sort of helped protect your trigger finger from the heat in the frame. And because of the American market, it had a magazine release lever located on either side, right here behind the trigger guard. This is a European model, and it has a magazine release right here. Some people refer to this pistol as a squeeze cocker, because this is completely safe. You could throw it against a brick wall, nothing would happen when it's chambered and loaded unless you first squeeze this lever in the front. And it takes a good bit of poundage of pressure. I mean, you have to deliberately squeeze that, but it takes almost no pressure to hold it to the rear. And you can see this pin protruding out the back that lets you know it's cocked and ready to go. Once you let go of it, it's completely safe. It cannot fire. And after you have emptied a magazine, it'll lock to the rear. And just, I like it because it's simple. Once it locks to the rear, you pull a new magazine out. When you pop a new magazine in, you just squeeze the lever again, and it's closed and ready to fire. So, kind of a neat pistol. They were very well made out of the finest steels. They're usually very accurate, very soft shooting. I like it, but for me it's more of a safe queen, just a kind of a neat oddity. There you go, HKP7. HKP7. Slides locked to the rear. He's going to insert a magazine into the butt of the weapon. And you just squeeze he's ready to go.
Ready?
Yep, just give it a good squeeze before you pull the trigger.
Oh, I
In the magazine release, you have to take this,
Like a
push that
Beretta.
button in. There you go. Try that magazine number 2. When you pop a new magazine, you just grip it really hard and it's ready to go again. No other levers to manipulate. It's hot,
Does
doesn't
get
it?
hot.
Right there above the trigger guard. All right, HKP7.